Hello and welcome to the City Show. On this week's edition, we're going to be meeting with Greg Orros, the Lebanon City Planner, and talking about the progress that's being made in our wonderful city despite the coronavirus. But up first, we're here at Market 640 on North Broadway across from the Warren County Fairgrounds. And we're with Wayne Dunn from the Lebanon Theatre Company and his assistant Ted Hennis, who runs the PR stuff and making everyone aware and does a great job. We're also here with Kim Long, co-owner, because you own it with your husband?
My sister.
Your sister.
My sister.
Of Market 640. And you guys got a special coming up, a promotion to help the theater company. That's fantastic. Wayne, apparently there was new guidance from the governor's office that was announced recently. Has he offered any relief for your specific company and that type of company?
We got relief in a way that we can rehearse, okay, but we're not allowed to bring people in to watch the show. So the normal method of getting a show out by putting it on at our space is for the moment on hold. We're exploring alternative ways to get some activity out there and let our actors act and so forth. But
yeah, the guidelines limit us to 15% of our seating capacity, and
when you have 110 seats,
that's
that
only
allows
15
16 people.
Yeah, so that doesn't really work, especially since we have to pay royalties for the show. People don't realize that there's a lot of expenses involved, not only mortgage and utilities and taxes and insurance, but then there's also the royalties, and that can be a pretty big chunk.
So right now, as far as opening date, nothing too upcoming soon.
We're still holding.
Okay. Yeah, we're still on hold.
You have a program too with the kids? Do you have a camp with the kids in the theater?
Yes,
Is that still going?
Well, it was this summer. We usually
Okay.
run our camp in the summertime with the kids because that's the natural time to do it when they have more free time.
It's so funny. I think a lot of people have this with this virus. The whole summer's just been a blur. I mean, we're at the end of summer and it's flown by.
But they were able to do a distance through Zoom. They had their kids for the camp at their own houses, broadcasting into the central where they put it together.
Now, what about your building? Do you have any alternative uses that you can outrig your building and assist on taking care of costs?
Well, the trouble is, if we have an event where people can come in, then we have to tell people they can't come in.
Yeah, we have to limit it. We did have a birthday party there.
Yeah.
Seven people.
But there were 7 people in. Did that include the magician? I don't know. But it was just a small thing. And right now, we're excited about the Market 640 and Main Street Lebanon. Yeah. They're also involved with this to help us out at the theater financially. Yeah. And we've already put in a grant with the Warren County Foundation. They have a COVID-19 emergency fund, so we've got our fingers crossed with that. And then one of the caveats in the rules that the Governor DeWine put out said that we could maybe get a variance to that 15% if we go through the health department. So that's something we're going to look at.
There's going to be a happy ending to this story. You guys have been through so much. If you don't remember, last year, you guys were just getting the building, and you went through so much, and it was such a celebration, a happy time, and now you're looking at ways to
and
to
3
keep
months
it.
3 months later, bang, coronavirus came in
and Kim, what's your business? What do you guys do here at 640? I understand you used to have a soap making business, and that kind of grew. You still have that here, but tell us your story real briefly.
So we've been here about a year and 3 months. We opened last March. Market 640 started out as a landing spot for our soap making business. We needed a place to hold our factory that was large enough to produce out of. But then we also wanted to get back into retail and then lay down some roots in town. So in the back of the building we have a really nice soap making factory. We make body care, lotion, you name it, we make it back there.
Hand sanitizers.
And lots of hand sanitizer right now. We've survived on hand sanitizer back there. But our original company is Cashmere Bath Company. So that's why we chose this spot. And we thought, hey, if we're going to do retail, let's do it right. We opened a barn market in the back where we have furniture, home decor, repurposed products.
Wine tasting?
Wine tasting bar
forget that, yeah.
is in the making, which we're excited to launch later this month, probably early September. And then the front of the house here is our main boutique where we have a lot of local vendors who make things, locally made products.
You opened a year ago, so you kind of rode through all this stuff. And
Yes.
you kind of re-outfitted your place.
We did. When COVID hit in March, everything shut down. But we were fortunate enough to be able to provide the county and the city and some other grocery chains with hand sanitizer. So we retooled our entire factory into a hand sanitizer production, and that's what kept us going, really. So, and then we opened our doors here in early May, and everything kind of felt normal for a minute, and people were ready and shopping, and we were well received when we opened. So we can't complain.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
you have a good attitude. Now,
Thank you.
how did you get partnered up with the Lebanon Theatre Company and the idea of co-hosting this fundraiser?
So I'm on the board with Main Street Lebanon,
Okay.
and Ted and I go to a lot of events through Main Street, and Ted hosted one of those events for the merchants, and him
Okay.
and I worked together on that particular event. And I just learned about the theater that day and learned about what they do, and then a couple months later during a Chamber of Commerce meeting, we had heard that they were struggling, and Ted was talking about it. And my sister and I, who's my business partner, we just looked at each other like, oh, I know what we can do with our venue, because we have a beautiful outdoor venue here. We thought, what better place to have a fundraiser and promote it and try to raise some funds.
Wow.
Yeah, and let me add that part about outdoor, that's important, because a lot of the activities that are going to go on here for our benefit will be outdoors. We've got a lot of nice places. The parking lot's going to be empty. We'll put people in the back at the big parking lot that's in the back. And so even though we're going to do the masquerade theme, we're going to encourage people to wear masks and social distance and everything, but outside, it's a different story.
Well, it used to be Creaches, and they have some beautiful. They left you some great stuff.
They
out
really
there.
did.
They do.
They're wonderful people, and I understand they're great landlords, which doesn't surprise me. So what's the date of the event?
Okay, it's September the 12th.
Okay.
It's a Saturday. It's from 12 to 8. And from 12 to 3, we'll be doing kid-centered activities,
Nice.
arts and crafts, pink lemonade, Shirley Temples, but from snacks. And then from 3 or 4 to 8, we'll be doing the shows from the theater every half an hour or so.
Okay.
We'll be doing little vignettes. We'll be having singers and performers that are our local favorites.
So you're going to have a stage outside or in the barn?
All over the place.
Okay.
There'll be different. We're going to move.
My goodness.
So we don't want people congregating, obviously, because of safety concerns. And so we'll be moving from place to place. I think I'm going to be the narrator.
Yeah.
So I'll have a clipboard so I don't have to remember any lines. I get to read right off the clipboard. But for the adults, we're going to have masqueritas.
Okay.
And we're going to have mascartinis.
Okay.
And some other
COVID-friendly foods.
COVID-friendly, individually
Packaged.
packaged food. And let me emphasize, too, that it's an open house.
Okay.
So if you get a ticket, it's not for 8 hours. You don't have to come in and try to figure out what to do for 8 hours. So I think you can come in and then
Anytime.
leave. And
Come
can
and
you
go
come back?
anytime.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
you can
food
come
and
back.
drink, are you guys coordinating yourself, or are you
Yes.
having somebody come in?
Right now we're coordinating ourselves. More to come on that.
Okay.
So,
And you're gonna have specials on all your stuff here to get people.
Yes.
Wow.
So the market itself, any market products will be 10% of the proceeds will go back to the theater company, and then 10% of the proceeds from the soap making factory business will go to the theater company. And then we have 40 vendors in house, so we've asked if any of them would like to donate a portion of the proceeds for that night. So
Nice.
yeah.
And speaking of vendors, I just heard that Wits frozen custard, is it this Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, I believe.
Oh, we're going to be pushing that out. But they're
Covering
gonna,
everything, man. You got the wine, you got the ice cream. Man, how can you not be a success?
Frozen custard.
That's
Frozen
awesome.
custard.
That's awesome.
No, but Wits is going to contribute 20% of everything they sell that day to the theater. And they've been a valued sponsor and supporter of the theater for many, many, many years.
I love what you said earlier. You have 40 vendors in here selling their wares. American made, right?
Yes.
And what you're doing with the how you converted your business to make the hand sanitizer. You're a patriot, girl.
Thank you.
You're really doing it.
We
Do
actually
you have anything else that you're doing with that COVID virus?
we just got a grant from the state of Ohio to complete the building of our factory in the back and tool it properly and completely for PPE production, so we can produce hand sanitizer at moment's notice for the state if need be.
Okay. And the fundraiser tickets, how much are they going to cost?
They are $50 a piece. They're a little expensive, but it's a fundraiser,
Yeah.
and it's to help the theater. I mean, our mortgage is not
Yeah.
cheap.
So they get to be part.
And we do. We have a loyal base that supports the theater here in Lebanon.
Wow.
And I think one of the lines I made famous, which now I'm going to be a famous person. Live theater needs to stay alive in Lebanon, Ohio.
Yeah.
And we're the only little beautiful 110-seat theater in the area surrounding, and we've got a lot, and it's all volunteer. That we have no employees, nobody gets paid, so that's why we couldn't qualify for a lot of the grants from the government, because we don't have a payroll. So now we're trying to just survive and make it through, and I'm not supposed to be a Debbie Downer, so this is going to be a positive.
Yeah.
But the sky's open and the sun's shone because we came into contact with Linda and Pam and Kim, I'm sorry.
You can call me Pam.
Hey, I remember last year and how, man, it was looking pretty gray. And yet the sun came out and shined. You got the building. So I'm looking forward to not just the sun shining, I'm looking for rainbows, buddy. Okay, so we're going to see rainbows. It's going to be a happy day. This is probably going to be the first annual thing. And you know what else is cool is how the community comes together. And you're tied in with Main Street Lebanon also.
Yeah.
So I imagine all those folks are going to be coming here. And if you are a local business person, this is a great opportunity for you to connect with people. Come down. You know, at $50, you can put that in your marketing budget because you're coming down and a donation. So this is a good time to get connected with a great organization, help keep something alive, and meet some new friends and get some cool stuff. Yeah.
And just let me add that you can get tickets. Here comes the publicity part of me. On Market 640, there's a button. On the Lebanon Theater page, there's a button. And on the Main Street Lebanon page, there's a button. And Linda Nienaber, the director, would have been here, but she's out of town still, isn't she?
Okay.
But she's done a lot of organization for this event.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of shoot from a hip kind of guy. So I probably am not going to go online and do that, but I'll mark that date. And can I still come down and pay when I get here?
Yes.
Okay. And Wayne, what are these funds going to be used for? Do you have a specific earmark? Is it for the building to make sure that we're paying the rent on the building, or anything else?
It's going to be making our bills first and foremost. And if we would be lucky enough to have surplus of what's been granted, of what we need for that other part, then we also have some plan on upgrading our air conditioning and different things in the building. But those are down the road. We're not planning on doing that right now.
Right, we need to open up first.
Yes.
We need to start another season. We need to get plays going. We need to get back on stage.
Yeah.
Because without that, we can't continue to go. So, so mostly operational with the fundraising we're doing now.
So on that note, you're going to have different presentations, different acting going on. How many different spots are you going to have?
Every hour on the half hour, we're going to have something going on. And it'll probably be about 15-20 minutes each session. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we have a wonderful a person at the theater. His name is Jay Mills, and he's coordinating all of this and getting everything pulled together.
Love Jay.
And
Yeah.
for any of you guys that know Jay, he's great. He's sitting back there making signs at me. Jay, don't do that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, it sounds like a wonderful afternoon of fun. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you guys, get down here. The date again is when?
September 12th.
And from when to when?
From noon to 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And I just, again, have to say thank you to Market 640 and Linda and all of the people in the community who are starting to support us. It's overwhelming. Yeah. It's really overwhelming.
Yeah.
And let me add one more thing.
Yeah.
It's not just $50, because if let's say you have a big family,
Yeah.
we've got a package for for families, for $100 for 2 adults and 2 kids.
Okay.
And if you have the blessing of having more than 2 kids, it's just an extra $10 extra. But we need your support.
Yeah.
So please come out and help us out, because we need to keep that theater here in Lebanon.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a chance for you to be part of something great and to have a good time, and to see Kim and her sister's new business. Kim, Ted, Wayne, thanks for keeping us updated. And again, I'm looking forward to the rainbow. Okay, and we're going to see that because you guys are doing such a great job. We'll be back with a look at new projects coming to Lebanon right after this break.
Bob Pulte Chevrolet always gives you the best. Best price guaranteed. Best trade-in value. Best selection. Best financing on all new and pre-owned vehicles. See for yourself at bobpulte.com. And you'll love the Pulte price.
Break your fast food habit at Kelly's Meats and Deli at 1001 West Main Street in Lebanon. Stop in for a quick lunch featuring made-to-order sandwiches, tasty sides, and mouth-watering daily specials. For dinner, Kelly's offers fresh-cut steaks, chops, and seafood, plus a variety of prepared dishes that only need to be reheated. You'll also find a large selection of high-quality wine and beer that can make any meal a special event. Kelly's Meats and Deli, open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, now open for dinner Saturdays 6 to 9 p.m. And remember, we cater too.
When it comes to healthcare, the most common question I get is, are you on our insurance? Well, we're probably not, because we don't accept insurance, but our prices are extremely fair and you're going to get great care. So if your plan is to get great care, we are your plan. We offer chiropractic, fitness programs, massage, and clinical nutrition. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, call our office, schedule for a free consultation so we can discuss any question you have and get you well.
Call now to schedule your free initial consultation.
Since 1954, Hardee's Interiors has been providing quality furnishings for homes in and around Lebanon, Ohio. Today, you'll still find quality antique and vintage furniture along with new made-in-America furniture of all styles. At Hardee's, you can create a mix of furniture and accessories that truly reflects your personality, all made to last a lifetime. Designers are welcome and so are you. Hardee's Interiors at 208.5 Wright Avenue or online at hardeesinteriors.com.
Bob Pulte Chevrolet always gives you the best. Best price guaranteed. Best trade-in value. Best selection. Best financing on all new and pre-owned vehicles. See for yourself at bobpulte.com. And you'll love the Pulte price.
Welcome back to the City Show. Behind us is a construction site for the Traditions of Lebanon, one of the many new developments that are happening here in our lovely town. Here to tell us about this project and many more is Greg Orros, Lebanon City Planner. Greg, welcome to the show. We got lots of stuff. And before we get into the stuff, let's talk about you. Where are you from? Are you a Lebanon resident forever, or are you from some other area?
No, I'm originally from Cleveland area, so the far east side, Menor Concord, which is about 30 miles east along the lake.
Okay.
And then I went to Ohio State, and then met my wife up there, who is a resident. And then we moved down here.
Yeah. And your wife works, she's a resident at...
My wife is Dr. McGilly, or Dr. Ashley at Four Paws Animal Hospital.
We got to give Four Paws a shout. They
That's
are just...
right.
Guys, you're amazing
for
our community. Appreciate what your wife and her colleagues do. Now, as far as deciding to come for work for the city, what led you to come down here?
Well, I've been in this area for 16 years here, and in that time I was on the Building and Grounds Committee for the Y first, so if you notice all the landscaping that's kind of occurred at the Y, we would have volunteer efforts and kind of do those each of the years. So we would then kind of do each part of the Y and landscape those areas. And then I've been on Main Street Lebanon for 8 years, and I've been president with Main Street Lebanon for 4 of those years. And then I also worked at the county for Warren County Regional Planning and worked on the Lebanon Parks Plan as well.
You're tireless.
That's right. I've been a part of Lebanon, and so this was kind of combining my hobby.
What was the main focus of your studies at Ohio State? Was it engineering?
No, it was political science was my
goodness.
bachelor's, and then city and regional planning was my master's, but I did a lot of landscape architecture classes as well, which has kind of helped with those projects.
And what do you primarily do as a city planner?
Well, city planning is kind of broken down, maybe I'd say 3 main categories, which is long-range planning, which we're involved in a long-range plan currently with our comprehensive planning process. And then there's project planning, which is similar to reviewing sites like this and smaller scale sites as well. And then there's zoning, which is kind of the nitty-gritty implementation of these practices.
Man, you got to be a smart guy. I'm glad.
No,
I'm glad they
fun.
got you doing this. Now, tell us about this project. This is called Traditions of Lebanon.
Yeah. So
are there other traditions in other cities? Is this a?
Yeah, there actually is a couple of different ones in here. Grandview is a similar city to our size, and they have one up there. Pretty development. So this is going to be not only assisted living facility, which is the main structure that you see here, which I think will have 94 rooms and a whole bunch of other services related to those rooms. And then there's going to be these 13 units that go behind them, which are like fourplexes. So a total of 52 sort of separate units. We're more independent living.
Okay.
So a total senior community.
So as far as the community, are they going to have shops as well and things for the folks to do?
It'll all be residential. They do have a mix of like small, like a central dining room, a clubhouse. They have a theater, activity room, fitness center, and a beauty salon. So they kind of have some features in there.
Their own little village in their tradition.
That's right.
How many employees do you anticipate them having to take care of that?
They said about 50 to 60.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, they jumped on this. Construction's coming pretty fast. What's the timeline? When do they think they'll be done?
I think they're thinking of sort of the middle of next year to late, depending on how everything goes over the winter.
Okay. Now down the other end of Neil Armstrong Way, the new Cronin Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram building's starting to come up out of the ground.
Yeah.
Now they're moving up from a 2-acre lot to almost 9.5 acres. And I noticed they've been housing some of their vehicles already over there, so they got to be ready. They must be busting out of the seams.
They have.
What else are they going to gain by this move, in addition to having extra space?
Yeah, so it's a 33,000 square foot facility. So for one, they are pretty tight on their existing facility. It'll also allow them to have about 455 parking spaces, which for a car dealership, you need those spaces for not only your inventory, but for when clients come in for parking there. So, and then I think it's going to give them an increase in their service base. Okay. And then it also will be distinctly, you'll notice it, Jeep brand on one side and Chrysler brand on the other. So you almost have kind of 2 architectural styles there. So it'll help their brand marketing.
Now, what kind of changes did you have to make on that property? Did they have issues with flood from the creek back there? Did you have to raise the land, or what did you have to do?
Some work had already been done with the flood plain area back there. However, they did have to regrade almost the entire site. That's where you see those huge piles of dirt. There also was some poor soil on the site, so they not only had to grade it, they had to dig out soil, and that's that big pile that you see there, to bring in more compactable type soil to buildability.
Okay, now I would think with that growth in their building, they're probably going to expand their staff as well.
There's no specific numbers on that staffing right now, but we do expect to see a moderate increase in staffing for service and for sales.
Now the city has some new projects too. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, not that you don't have enough. We have a new building for the electric division, which is under construction on Sycamore Street, and of course a new firehouse on Broadway. What's the status on the firehouse?
The firehouse has all the permits approved and all the different sort of planning and zoning approved. They just, council I think just picked the contractor to do the work. So that should be proceeding coming up pretty soon.
Okay, any idea when they're breaking ground on that one?
I think August 31st, so coming up this month.
Oh my goodness. And what about the electric division? How's that building going?
That's going well. That's currently like right in the middle of the process. So if you remember, there was an old green structure that was there. You could barely remember it really, but there was a green barn, 3-bay sort of barn. It was having major issues and was needed to be demolished for years, and they had been using it. So they're completely removed that, and this is going to be double the size, an 8,000 square foot structure with 4 bays along the front. And then they're going to tie in kind of the brick feel with the rest of the complex. And I think it's going to add some nice urban kind of style density down there. So
Now,
I think it's going to be a nice addition.
You're doing a great job as far as all the things coming together. Now, one of my favorite eateries, the Breakfast Club.
That's right.
I think they got some stuff going on too. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the Breakfast Club is doing an 800 square foot expansion, but they want to do it in phases. So the first phase...
Is this going to be outdoors because of the coronavirus?
Yes, exactly. The first phase, they're going to set the foundation work and everything that they need for a second phase addition. But in the meantime, that first phase will be a covered patio that will go over that outdoor seating, and then an increase in vestibule size.
Nice.
Because it's always tough waiting in there because it's always busy.
And you feel like you're eating in a parking lot. So that's good that they recognize that. They're always a step ahead as well. Now, if we look at the industrial park, we have E-Beam, which has been part of our community for a long, long time, and they presently have a 50,000 square foot addition planned for construction. Do you know what they'll be doing and when they'll be doing that?
Yeah, so the science of this is a little bit past my knowledge here, but they modify polymers and other materials using electronic beam technology.
Yeah.
So somehow they blast these particles with electrons near the speed of light.
You're talking rocket science to me now. That's
and
amazing.
That increases the density or something, somehow ties into polymers.
Okay.
And then also it's been used as sterilizing. So it sterilizes medical equipment.
Okay.
And also is playing a role in the COVID.
So they found a new use. And
correct,
wow,
yeah.
That's fantastic. Has the pandemic resulted in more favorable borrowing rates for the businesses and the city?
Yeah, if you look, the borrowing rates are definitely lower, and that actually helped out with the fire station, so I think that was a pleasant surprise. However, what we also heard is that the scrutiny of the banks is increased because of the unpredictability of what could happen in this type of situation.
I imagine they have concerns about fraud and people get money.
Yes, and also the stability of making sure that the pandemic does not impact potentially the ability to pay back the loan with something unexpected.
Well, you got to be responsible. Now, there's another company in that area called INX, and they're also planning expansion about 32,000 square feet.
Yeah.
What does that company do?
Yeah, so INX or inks is kind of the things. They do ink manufacturing. So they're the third largest manufacturer of ink products. For commercial products. 32,000
feet. That's a big
which
expansion.
will take it up to 90,000 square feet total.
My goodness. What's the timeline on that one?
They are already starting construction, and I think during the middle of next year, once again, weather dependent.
And finally, you have the Estates of Monroe Meadows. That's a new housing development off of Monroe behind the Lebanon Ford, and I think they've broken ground?
Correct.
Okay.
The road and the street is in there. It's a connection of South Line Road.
What type of homes are they putting back there?
So those homes will be, it's a total of 16 buildings, but they're divided into two paired patios or landominiums or condominiums. But they're separate homes that you buy. So you buy one side.
So they're for sale?
For sale,
okay.
Yes.
That's not a low income.
No, it's a for sale thing. They're just attached single family, is pretty much. So 16 buildings, 32 units total.
And what's the projected cost of a new home?
They're 200,000 plus. Still.
And those are duplexes?
Yeah, so 200,000 for one side.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, for one side.
Yeah, so one side and then 200,000 for the other side.
Okay.
So,
oh my goodness. And when's the first home there going to be completed?
That's always hard to say. They've just submitted their permits, so it could be early next year, potentially.
Well, you got a lot going on in the midst of a pandemic.
Yes, it's amazing.
Did you see this as an opportunity to just seize and go after and build? Because there's so much going on in spite of this.
Yes.
How'd you pull the trigger on that? Or did all this stuff just come your way?
Yeah, so a lot of this stuff, anything in development a lot of the stuff has been in the works for a while. So this was going through the process, then the pandemic hit, and it really didn't derail any big projects that we know of, really. Nothing got delayed. I mean, obviously that delay with everyone off for that bid was a partial delay, but nothing got canceled. So a lot of these things were going prior to that. The other thing is the housing market is still as strong as ever.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So as far as our residents keeping track of this, because I know the residents like to know what's going on, is there some way they can go on a website and see what's happening, or if they have a special interest, get more information on what they might be interested in?
You can contact the city. It's LebanonOhio.gov is the website.
Okay.
So you kind of go on there and there's all what's going on in the community, what projects. So you can look at the minutes, the upcoming meetings, and then all of that information is on there. All these projects are currently on there under our past agendas for Planning Commission and BZA.
You must have a good team of support behind you to juggle all this stuff, because you got a lot of stuff going on. Did we miss anything? Is there anything else going on that you're involved in that you'd like to share with us?
No, I think that we're seeing a lot of growth coming up here because surrounding communities such as Mason and Deerfield are almost built out. So growth is kind of heading our way regardless. So it's kind of our job to shape that into Lebanon's image. And I think we just want to encourage anyone who doesn't work or live here to come join us in Lebanon, because it's a great place to live.
I think that's probably the concern of some of the residents. Are we going to get too big? And how do we prevent that? Because right now we're about, what, 22,000?
22,000.
Okay.
We have done projections, and even based on the growth that we've currently seen, we are really, it's going to be a 10 to 15 year process till we even to get to 26,000.
Okay.
So really all of our growth is relatively moderate, even though it doesn't seem like it as you view it. That doesn't take into account surrounding communities as Turtle Creek Township, but for the city of Lebanon, that seems realistic.
Slow, steady, and strong.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what we're hoping for. Just not too much, but not too little either.
And I appreciate that we have somebody like you in that position. Great job keeping our town still small, but even better.
Yeah, that's what the goal, to keep that Lebanon charm.
Well, thanks, Greg. Hey, that wraps up this edition of the City Show. We'll be back on September 1st with a new program. Enjoy the summer. It's flying by. We'll look forward to seeing you soon.
So first of all, I appreciate everybody taking the time out of their busy day to be here today to help us celebrate what's a very important event for the city and certainly for our fire division folks. There's been a lot of people who have been involved in getting the project to this point, and we're very thankful, I think, first and foremost for the community, and that I'm able to work for a community that really values public safety. And that's a great feeling, and I think this community is going to be very proud of what we end up building right here. So the mayor is going to make a few remarks, and then I think we're going to do a shovel ceremony. So I'll turn it over to Mayor Brewer.
Thank you very much. I'm telling you, I am so excited to be here. And I take a look at all of you, and it makes me so very proud. For outstanding firefighters and EMT personnel, this day could not come soon enough. You have always served our community in an outstanding fashion. Even while operating out of a substandard facility, you have done so with professionalism, humility, and dedication. We're extremely grateful for your service. You are what makes our city great. Today we begin the construction of a 20,000 square foot fire station that will be a reflection of those outstanding men and women in the fire division. The station is the result of the unwavering commitment on the part of City Council to make this project a reality. It is also the culmination of months of work by city staff, our engineer, architectural firm, KZF, to design a fire station that reflects our amazing community and that will serve our city for decades. I also want to say thank you to our residents, of course, our residents and businesses of Lebanon who supported this project through the passage of the fire levy. We know how to do it in Lebanon, Ohio. Without you, this would not be possible. We are fortunate to live in a community that values public safety. I also want to thank Warren County for your support in selling us the land for the station. When our fire response studies conducted back in 2018 identified this property as the preferred location to construct a newer fire station, we are unsure of how feasible it would be. We are grateful to have the county government that is willing to collaborate with the city to find solutions that best serve our constituents. So thank you. Chief Johnson and his staff have spent countless hours reviewing every detail of the new station to ensure that it fits our needs. Unfortunately or fortunately, Chief Johnson has been deployed to Texas to assist with the Hurricane Laura response efforts. He has promised not to miss the grand opening ceremony. Finally, I want to thank KZF Design for the great work they have done designing the facility. Their experience and guidance has been immeasurable. I look forward to being back here in a year to celebrate our new facility. It's not just about a building, it's about the care and love our community and what you do for our city. So thank you very much.